but I actually got a chance to play a board game at my friend's house. So I love Rick and Morty. So does she. She picked up the Rick and Morty Mr. Meeseeks box of fun dice and dares game, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of like akin to like almost like a Yahtzee type game, but of course you could expect like the crazy foulness that you would get from the TV show. So it's pretty simple. Basically, the idea is that you get cards, which are you're trying to get like a request. So the request will be something like, help me find a good parking spot, or I want to be, a more complete woman or something like that. And when you look at the cards, what they'll have is they'll have a picture of what dice you need to roll so that you can accomplish it, and they'll tell you how many points it is. So it might show a picture of 3 sixes, or it might show a picture of 2 sixes, 2 twos, 2 fours, and of course, the harder it is, you'll get more points. So then what happens is that you roll the number of dice based on the request. And then when you roll the dice, if you don't get it, then you end up getting you could do a dare, like if you don't meet the request. But the thing that makes it interesting, and I guess some people don't like it, but I mean if you like the show, it makes sense. You hit the little button on the top of the box, which actually is a functioning button, and when you hit it, then you get, you pull out the Mr. Meeseeks. And the Mr. Meeseeks will give you things like allow you to roll again. Or if you roll 6s, you get another roll. Or redo your entire roll or something like that. But here's the thing. Every time that you don't complete your objective, which sometimes I've gotten lucky and I've rolled, like all the 6s. But if you don't, those Mr. Meeseeks count against you. And after a while, you use less and less dice because you have to roll to counter how many of the Mr. Meeseeks you get. So after you get too many Mr. Meeseeks, they'll kill you because in the show they hate their existence. So they want to help you achieve their goal, and if they don't, then either they want to kill you so they can end their existence. So what makes it fun is that you have that added part to it. Now the dares, you only get usually like 1 point or something like that. And it might say, it'll be like crazy stuff. Because like I said, Rick and Morty. The dares will be something like, describe your sister, like how sexy your sister is. So imagine you're with a group. I think you can play with up to 8 people in this game. So imagine having to do that. Like they'll give you a time limit, like 30 seconds. So you're there trying to describe that to your friends. Or they'll have you like do dances or things like that. Nothing too crazy, but this is not a game for kids. The stuff that they have you doing and saying is not for kids. So overall, when you finish a request, you get a new one, and the point is that the winner gets the most total points. Like I said, you get like 1 point or something for the dares. You could get 3, 4, 5 points, whatever, 6 points from doing the request. So I mean, it's fun. I've actually read online before the show to see like what some people think. It's not mixed because it's more positive than negative. But you have some people that don't like the dares, or they don't like this, and they're comparing it to, like I said, Yahtzee and games like that. But I mean, I think it's kind of like you have to like Rick and Morty. You have to like that style, and then it's fun. I mean, I had fun. I was playing with 5 people. It was funny seeing people. Even the requests are funny, because it's like you would expect if you could ask for something, it would be something grand, like make me a millionaire. But like in an episode with Mr. Meeseeks, it's not. Sometimes they ask for something stupid, like make me a perfect sandwich. But it's fun. The dares are cute. They're raunchy. It's also a good game. I guess anything's good if you're drunk. But
Yeah, that's true.
if you're drunk or drinking and a little more loose and you play around with the dares and stuff like that, it's a pretty fun game. And I would recommend it especially if you're a fan of Rick and Morty, especially with season 3 right upon us. It's definitely worth picking it up.
Right, I forgot about that. I need to see that. I think that they've only done like the first couple of episodes or something like that.
Yeah, they trolled us with that little April Fools. They were going to do Samurai Jack, but instead they put out that, and there hasn't been a new one since.
Yeah, the interesting thing is like with games like this is you're there's usually no middle ground to the game. People either really like it or really hate it. And I find it happens to be like that with, like, especially dice-based games like this. And the reason being is a lot of the people that hate it is like it's that luck factor of like you never know what you're gonna roll and blah 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 blah. I think the only other thing that I see that usually has people give a negative review, especially if it's something that like you can get knocked out really, really quickly, and then everybody else is playing for like another half hour, and you're like, all right, so I'm just sitting here doing nothing. Like that's usually what'll give something like that negative reviews. But I tend to see usually it's the luck factor. I love dice games because it's like you never know what's gonna happen. You can have that like you said, the Yahtzee of the you roll the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like how often is that gonna happen? You know?
Yeah, and the thing that's interesting is that when we played our first game, no one got killed by the Mr. Meseeks. So it's not like it's something where you immediately it's so easy to get killed. I don't know if somebody would consider that a negative or positive. I think it's a positive because it allows you to play the game. The total game time is only like 20 or 30 minutes because it's not like a ton of points. I think you can it's flexible. You can even make it how many points you need to win. So if you want to make it longer, you can make it higher so you have more to do. But I guess that would also make it easier for you to get killed. But yeah, the way they have it now, like I said, 20, 30 minutes, it's funny. Like I said, it's not easy to die. So the chances of you, by the time someone would die, the game would be close to over. You know,
No.
so many people would have already done requests or enough dares to earn points, and they'd be close. So you're not going to be sitting there waiting, 20, 30 minutes while everyone else is having fun.
Yeah, that's a good thing there, like a good design, because that's like the biggest thing. Like I've seen, let me tell you, there's been some games out there that they have a set amount of rounds, and you think like, oh, it's 6 rounds. Like, oh, what do we have to do? Oh, everybody takes their turn, and that's 1 round. Cool. And you think like, oh, it's going to be a short game. I was hearing, I can't remember what the name of the game was, but it was like one of these games where it was 6 rounds, but they're like, dude, it took them 8 hours to play the game. And they say because like when you first start playing the first rounds, there's not a lot of stuff that you do, but it's like one of those like engine building mechanics. So as the rounds go, everybody's turn takes longer and longer and longer to do it. So like one of the guys is like, yo, I seriously did my turn, got up from the table, went outside, had a beer, like watched a TV show, came back, and there was still like 2 people to go before it got back to me.
Yeah, that takes you so far out. I mean, you want to be engaged in the game at all times.
And that's the big thing. Like I'm the type of person, like just like a video game, like I'll sit down and I'll throw 8 hours at a game. But if I'm sitting there and I like do my thing and say, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then it's like I'm sitting there like just okay, and not doing nothing, and I'm not getting any more information or any points or anything out of it. That is the longest like bit of like, okay, can we get this over with? Somebody shoot me, please, type of a thing. Like that is it's bad in video games. It is horrific in board games. And I mean, I can tell you as a person that I just love gaming in general, both board and video. Like, and I've known you for God knows how many years. Like, when you make that transition to add in the board games, like once you get that bitten by the bug, boy, it's hard to let go of that one, man.
Oh yeah,
I can tell you because you will find stuff. There is stuff out there for every type of gamer. To the super thinky, to the super mathy, to the, hey, it's a cool theme, to, hey, let's just play something for 20, 30 minutes. Like, that's what I love about the board game stuff is you have everything from very casual all the way to, like, the meatiest of meaty games out there.